Hi everyone, I'm Laura. I'm going to show you how to crochet these cosmos flowers. So if you've never crocheted before, take a look at my videos about how to do single crochet and how to crochet in the round. If you like the written version of this pattern, it's available on my website. I'll leave the link in the description. So you're going to need double knit yarn in lilac, green, yellow and purple, or if you'd like to choose your own colours you can do that. You're going to need a 3mm crochet hook, a stitch marker, a yarn needle, some scissors and some florist wire. So this is 18 gauge and that's the thickness and it's 36 centimeters long. And you'll need some green florist tape. So this is crepe paper with wax on it. So we're going to start in green and this is the middle piece at the back. I'm going to make a magic ring and we're going to do 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So we'll take that short tail out and put it by the side. And we'll do our 6 single crochet underneath both of those strands. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and you can count these to count your stitches, and then we pull tight on that short tail to close the magic ring. And then we put our stitch marker back in. So round 2 we're going to do an increase in every stitch. So an increase is 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and then at the end of the round we'll have 12 stitches. So we take the marker out and do our last increase. And we put the marker back in. So round 3 we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to increase in the next stitch, and we're going to do that 4 times, and at the end of the round we'll have 16 stitches. So we take the marker out and do our last increase. And then we're going to begin the second single crochet of that increase, but we're not going to finish it. So we pulled up a loop. We're going to change to dark purple as we finish that single crochet. So we just fold the end of the yarn a few inches from the end, and we put that loop on the hook, and we pull that through both of those green loops, and that finishes that last single crochet, and it changes to purple. So you can cut the green yarn just the same length as the short purple end. So you can put the stitch marker in if you want to, but I didn't feel like I needed to, because now that we're in a different colour, we can see where the end of the round is. So round 4, we're going to be working in the front loops only. So this is the front loop because it's closest to you, and this is the back loop because it's furthest away. So in the front loop, we're going to single crochet in every stitch, and we're just maintaining 16 stitches. So you can pause the video and meet me back. So come to the last stitch, so last front loop only stitch. And then just to finish it off, we're going to do a slip stitch in both loops of that first purple stitch. Push the hook in, yarn over and pull through, and then pull that loop through the loop on the hook, and that's a slip stitch. Now we cut the yarn, just leave a short tail and fasten off. So we're going to tie the short green and purple tails together in a knot just to secure it. So now you can see that we've got those back loops remaining, the green ones, and that's what we're going to be working in next. So we'll have 16 of those. So we're going to find the one next to the last one that we did. And we push the hook in, and then we're going to pull up a loop of light yellow. And then we're going to chain 1, so this doesn't count as a stitch. And then we're going to single crochet in that same back loop. So you can just move that short bit out of the way. And then we're going to single crochet in every remaining back loop. So you can pause the video and meet me back. So we come to the last green loop, do our last single crochet, and we should have 16. And then we put our stitch marker in that last stitch. So round 2, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to ignore that chain 1 and just go straight through both loops of the next stitch. So there's 1, 2, and now we do an invisible decrease. So to do that, we're going to pick up the front loop of the next stitch and then the front loop of the stitch next to that. So we've got 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. So it can help to pull through one first and then the next, then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. And you can see that that's left the remaining loops on the back, and it also has this diagonal piece. So we want to be careful that we go into the next stitch under both loops instead of that side piece. So we'll repeat that 3 more times. So single crochet in the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. And then at the end we'll have 12 stitches. So we take the marker out when we've got 2 stitches remaining, and we do our last invisible decrease. and you can cut that green yarn and then push those short tails inside. And then we put our marker back in. So round 3, we're going to do an invisible decrease 6 times so that we have 6 stitches, and this is the last round. So it can help to put your finger in that hole there. So make sure you're going into the front loop of the next stitch and not the diagonal side piece of that invisible decrease. So last one. Now we have 6 stitches, and we're going to leave a tail and cut the yarn and fasten off. And then we're going to thread that tail onto our needle. And we're going to come up through the front loops of each of those 6 stitches. So we come up from the outside. And then we pull tight to gather all those stitches together and close the hole. And then we're going to find a loop nearby. And we're going to go through it but not pull through all the way. And we'll leave a loop and we'll go through the loop from behind and pull tight to make a knot, and that fastens off. And then we're going to weave through the middle of the magic ring, come out at the side of the yellow piece and pull tight, and that flattens it out and makes it nice and round. And then we cut the yarn close to the edge of the work. And we use the end of our yarn needle to push that in and hide it. So now we're going to make the petals. So with the yellow piece facing you, we're going to pull up a loop of lilac in that last slip stitch. So we're going to chain 9. And you can count the chains just to make sure. And we're going to work in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to single crochet in the next 8 chains. So I'll just speed this up just to show you. So you can count, make sure you've got 8 single crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 stitches on the purple part, so through both loops. So push the hook in, yarn over and pull through, and then pull that through the loop on the hook, and then another one. I'm going to repeat that, so the part in brackets all the way around until we have 8 petals. So this is just round 1 of the petals. So I'll just show you the second one, and then you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. Okay, so I've just finished my last one. I've got 8. Do my last 2 slip stitches. So there's the first one, and that last one goes into the same stitch that we did that slip stitch in. And now we're going to put the stitch marker in that last slip stitch, because we're going to do round 2 now. So now we're going to work our way back up the side of the chain using the remaining loops. So we're going to count 8, and the first one is right at the bottom. So this one here, and you can move that short purple tail out if it's in the way. And we're going to do a slip stitch in that first stitch, and then a single crochet in the next one. Now we're going to do a half double crochet, so we yarn over, push the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So we're going to do that again in the next stitch. Now we're going to do a double crochet, so yarn over, push the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So we're going to do that in the next 3 stitches. So last one. So you can count, make sure you've got 8 stitches up that side, and we've still got that last chain remaining, which looks like a vertical strand at the top. So now we're going to do the top. So we're going to chain 4. I'm going to find the side of that double crochet at the bottom, so this piece here, and we're going to do a slip stitch in that. Then we're going to chain 4, and then we're going to do a slip stitch in that last chain stitch. So just pick up that loop, and then we're going to chain 4, Now we're going to work through both loops down this side, and we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, push the hook through the stitch, yarn over and pull through. And just make sure you hold everything in place. Yarn over and pull through the first two, yarn over and pull through the last two. So that's one. So now we're double crocheting the next 3 stitches. So we're just doing a mirror image of the other side. And now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch. And now you can pull the stitches apart just to help you see where the empty stitches are. And we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. So those 2 slip stitches that we did before. So you can pause the video and repeat the instructions so that you have 8 petals. I'll leave the instructions on the screen. So I'll just show you how you would start the second petal. So slip stitch and then single crochet. So I'll leave the instructions on the screen and you can pause the video and meet me back. So I've got 8 petals now, and I've still got my last 2 slip stitches to do. So mine are quite tight, so it's a bit difficult to get my hook in them. Then we take the marker out and do our last slip stitch. And cut the yarn, just leaving a bit of a tail to weave that in, and fasten off. And you can just flatten your petals out. And we're going to thread these tails onto our needle and weave them through the middle at the back. So to stop them showing through at the front where the petals join, it can help to weave it through that purple round first and then through the middle at the back. So then we do the long one. And then we trim those ends close to the edge of the work. And use the end of our needle to push them in and hide them. So now we're going to take our florist wire and we're going to measure 5 centimeters from the end. And we're going to bend it at that 5 centimeter point. So just bend it at a right angle like that. And then we're going to push it through the middle of that magic ring and come out in the space between that and the next round. And then we push those 2 ends together. And now we're going to take our florist tape and we're going to hold that short end close to the long end. And we're going to wrap that around starting right at the top. So just fold a short piece around and then hold on to it and pull tightly to stretch it. So it's going to be fiddly to begin with. And then we want to pull it down at an angle as we're wrapping it around the whole length of this. And it's going to become very sticky, which is what we want. So I'll just speed this up. So I've just sped this up just to show you. So we wrap it around the whole length just once. And then we're going to leave about 1 inch and cut the tape at an angle. Then we're going to take our green yarn and we're going to leave several inches and we're going to start wrapping this around tightly. And because the tape is sticky, that's going to help the wool to stick to it. But it doesn't stay sticky for very long, so you probably have to do this quite soon after you put the tape on. So just make sure you don't have any gaps and wind it around, making sure you're covering all of it. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you're at the end. So we're just going to leave a couple of centimeters not wrapped round, so they're going over the last piece of tape, and we'll cut the yarn and then use that remaining bit of tape to wrap it around tightly. Just keep winding it around to secure it. And then with that green bit that's sticking out, we can just trim that. So now we're going to thread that short bit onto our needle. And we're going to find a loop on the main piece nearby and pull through. And then we're going to find a loop next to it and go through, but not all the way. And we're going to go through that loop from behind and pull tight to make a knot around it. And then we're going to weave that end in through the middle piece. And cut the yarn. And push the end in to hide it. And now we can bend the wire at that point where the 5 centimeter piece ends. So just bend it at a slight angle. And then we flatten all of our petals out. And there you have it. We've made our cosmos flower. So you can make as many as you like in whatever colors you like. I made 3. And then you can display them in your favorite vase. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to share a photo with me of your flowers, I'd love to see them. You can tag me on Instagram at Laura_Wilson01. I also have an Etsy shop where I design and sell crochet patterns. So if you'd like to check that out, I've left the link in the description. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and let me know if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.